and welcome to another video. It's a warm, damp, misty morning and today I'm out on a mushroom walk and I'm going to probably focus on the mushrooms that I find that are actually poisonous. There are a lot of people that focus on the edibles and then show the poisonous lookalikes, but I'm actually looking for poisonous mushrooms today. Enough chatting, let's get walking. On here we have a very poisonous mushroom. This, I believe, is a white fibre cap. The reason that I suspect this is the white fibre cap is because it has that sort of central umbro or dimple on the stem. It's got these sort of white fibrous looking texture or strands on the top of the cap, grey gills and a white stem. So this is poisonous. Don't eat this. The lilac fibre cap, which is the purple version of this, is often mistaken for the amethyst sativa. So while I don't have an amethyst sativa with me, it's still a really good idea for me to show you guys this mushroom because this is very common. A beechwood sycamore down here. This is also poisonous. Red member of the Rushula family. Guys, I didn't know what these were the first time I saw them, but these are shaggy scaly caps and these are also inedible, so don't eat these either. Here we've got some beautiful Phylogaric or Amanita muscarias, and the Amanita family contains a lot of poisonous mushrooms, and despite the fact that the warts on the top have been washed off by the rain, I know that this is an Amanita because it's coming from an egg sac and it's got the white gills, the white stem and that white skirt, and there's also residue of the universal membrane at the bottom of the stem here, and sometimes they can present with an appendiculate margin as well. So this is another one that is inedible or poisonous. Deaths from this mushroom are rare, and sometimes it is harvested for its hallucinogenic properties, and also there are cultures around the world that eat it if it's processed in a certain way. But if you're new to this, I would steer clear of this mushroom. Here we've got a couple of different species of Rushula. Let's pull one out. So you'd be forgiven for mistaking this purple Rushula for the purple brittle gill, which is edible, but this is actually an inedible species here. They can be quite difficult to tell the difference between each species of Rushula just because they look so similar, but the purple top, the purple blushing on the stem, and the slightly yellow or sort of primrose lemon yellow gills leads me to believe that this is probably a primrose brittle gill. Rushulas, they won't kill you in the UK if you get one that is inedible, but they will make you very sick. So while this one is not deadly poisonous, it's still really important to make sure that you don't eat the wrong one. There are a few members of the brittle gill family that are purple with purple blushing on the stem. Another common one you might find is the fruity brittle gill, and that has purple all the way right up to the top of the stem and often presents with a little ring at the top of white or grey. So yeah, if you see purple on the top and you see purple on the stem and you know that it's a Rushula, be mindful that it's probably inedible. So the focus of this video is poisonous mushrooms, but we have just come across an edible member of the Rushula family, so I'm going to quickly show you that as well before we move on. I actually have an edible mushroom down here, but this mushroom does have a poisonous lookalike. This is the ochre brittle gill, and the poisonous lookalike for this is the geranium brittle gill. The main way to tell the difference is the smell. So this mushroom will smell mushroomy, whereas the geranium brittle gill will smell quite floral. but also the top of this mushroom is more ochre coloured, whereas the geranium brittle is a very, very sort of pale yellow. I could do the russula test. I could pop a little bit of this in my mouth. Remember, you can only do this test if you know you have a russula. Pop it on the tip of my tongue. And if I get no harsh peppery taste, then I know that the mushroom is edible. So no peppery acrid taste, just a sort of gentle peppered soft taste. So this is the edible version. And I know that this video we're focusing on the poisonous mushrooms, but this is just to show you that even when there are loads of poisonous mushrooms around, you might still find the odd edible gem. What we have here is a false chanterelle, and I know that this is a false chanterelle firstly because of the colour. It is not yellow, it's more of an orangey colour. Secondly, this has true gills, whereas the chanterelle actually has false gills. They look more like folds or flaps. And also the gills of this mushroom are decurrent, but they don't run as far down the stem as what you'll often see with a true chanterelle. Another indicator is if I break this open, the flesh of the chanterelle is white, but I suspect that the flesh of this mushroom will be the same colour as the cap. Go, we've broken it open and you can see the flesh is not white, it's the same colour as the cap. Spotted this mushroom. I believe this is a Babelite because of its chestnut brown cap and the fact that it's found growing in association with coniferous trees. So this is an edible mushroom, generally with the Boletus genus, as long as there's no red or blue staining, there's no red on the cap, gills or stem, and the mushroom does not bruise blue when it's broken or sliced, and it's found actually growing in the soil and not out of wood, then it will be safe to eat. Okay, so just to finish off, we've laid the mushrooms out on a log and I'm going to just talk you through them again so that you can remember them. We have the Babelite and the ochre brittlegill. These are the two edible mushrooms that we found, alongside a small tawny funnel, which is edible but could cause gastric upset in some. I believe it's something like 1 in 25 people who consume the tawny funnel have an adverse reaction. So while this mushroom is considered edible, you should always exercise caution and just be very, very careful, especially if you've already got a condition like IBS, for example. Next up, we have the false chanterelle, and you know that this is the false chanterelle because it's orange instead of yellow. The flesh on the inside is not white, it's the same colour as the cap, and this has true gills, whereas a real edible chanterelle will have false gills. We have Amanita muscaria, or the fly agaric mushroom, and the reason I've included this is because while deaths from this mushroom are rare, it is considered a poisonous mushroom. There are some cultures that use it for its hallucinogenic properties and some cultures that eat it. But for the sake of today's video, we're counting this as an inedible or poisonous mushroom because it is a member of the Amanita family, and the Amanita family does have a lot of poisonous mushrooms like the death cap and the destroying angel and the panther cap, so steer clear of this one too. Next up, we have this one. This is a white fibre cap. This is a deadly poisonous mushroom. This mushroom will probably kill you, and it's important for you to learn this mushroom because its purple or lilac friend, the lilac fibre cap, is often mistaken for the amethyst deceiver, which is edible. So make sure that you familiarise yourself with this mushroom. And lastly, we have the purple primrose brittlegills, and the reason I think these are the primrose brittlegills is quite simply because they have the sort of yellow, pale yellow gills, the purple on the stem and the purple on the cap. It's very difficult to tell the difference between all of the brittle gills unless you have a microscope or you do a spore print, but even some of the spore prints look the same. If you're looking for the edible purple brittle gill, then make sure that you go for the mushrooms that do not have purple blushing on the stem. You want to look for mushrooms that are absolutely white on the stem and gills and occasionally have a bit of a grey tinge to them as they age, but never purple. If your purple capped russula has purple on the stem, it's highly likely that it is an inedible species. So I hope that you found this useful. Paying attention to your poisonous mushrooms is just as important as paying attention to your edible ones. If you're learning to forage and identify mushrooms purely for the purpose of taking them home and eating them, it's absolutely essential that you get up close and personal with some of these poisonous lookalikes. So as always, get out there, get your hands in the dirt and find some mushrooms. Be safe, take your time. I'm sure you'll get it eventually. If you like what you see and would like to see more videos from me, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, etc, etc. I'm very, very happy with what we found today, and hopefully you are too. But yeah, it's time to pack these up and take them home for some spore printing. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the woods.